What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pens and Tea. My name is Carrie, and today my face is incredibly red for two reasons. One, I just got out of the shower and scrubbed the bejesus out of myself. And two, because I am so frustrated and miffed and annoyed. Long story short, so that we can get right into this video, the admissions department of the college I am applying to is being a huge bungholio and not giving me the right answers, if any answers, to the final step in my application process. And the deadline is February 1st. And, yeah, pretty PO'd. But, to get myself out of what is becoming a very crusty mood, and I'm going to a friend's house tonight to paint some our new D&D figures for a campaign that we're beginning. I'm very excited about that. But I need to get myself out of this crusty mood before that happens. And talking about fountain pens will do that. And I wanted to actually take this video and shove it up in the production schedule earlier because I like them. I like these a lot. There's a lot of pens in front of me. There are 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 pens in front of me right now, which is a lot. Considering I'm still trying to get my collection down to 10 pens, probably I'm going to stretch that to 20, but I still have a lot that are in my drawers. In my drawers, get it? But the Patreon for paid tiers pen sale is live right now. So if you check that out, some of it has already been claimed, but you'll see in the description what has sold, what has not. And then on Saturday, so today's Monday when this goes up, wow, I should not have had coffee right before this. On Saturday, as I go through puberty, is when everything will go live for everybody else. So thank you so much for those who have supported me thus far. But let's get into this, shall we? So I'm going to be talking about the 3 fountain pens that are INSTA buys for me. And within these 3 fountain pens, I'm going to be talking about the brand in particular as well, because it matters. So I'm going to start with the most obvious, probably. I think they're all kind of obvious if you've been following my content for any amount of time. But I'm going to be starting to talk about my Pilot fountain pens. So I have the Pilot Custom 912 with a Falcon nib and an Ebonite feed. I have a Custom 74 with a medium nib. I have the Pilot E95S, also with a medium nib. Pilot Metropolitan, also with a medium nib. Custom 823 with a medium nib. And then my one and only, my little guy, Custom 823 with a fine nib. The fine nibs on Pilots are pretty darn fine, so I don't typically go for them. But when I bought the 823, this amber version here, I knew immediately I needed to buy another one. Yes, my nails are growing out and I need to get them redone. I don't care. I needed to buy this. I had to. I knew that I would like the color. I knew that I wanted the fine nib, and I knew that having the fine nib would mean that I wasn't going to use it as much as basically all of the rest of these, but it filled a perfect hole in my Pilot life. I'm contemplating getting a broad nib, but I don't use those very often either. I use them a little bit less than even the 823, but the biggest thing that I want to have in the collection that I don't right now is the Pilot Custom 92, I believe. It's basically the piston version of the 74 and has the flat ends instead of the round ones. But this fine nib here was basically an Insta buy for me. It is gorgeous. I typically will fill it up with Pilot Iroshizoku Tsukio. And I love it so much. I do want to get the new Pilot inks, the Rika, and which is the blue one. And I can't remember right now what the name of the other one is, but it's one that's sort of like a reddish brown color. Compared to Sakushi, which is like their main brown, it's pretty close from what I've seen. But I want to get that one, put it in here and try it out. So Pilot for me is basically an Insta buy, which is funny because if you watched the video I just posted about the 5 pens I would never buy again, there's actually 2 Pilot pens in there. But despite that, and there's very valid reasons for why those are in there, and if you watch the video, you'll know why, and if you want to know why, watch the video. I'm a little saucy today. Pilot is basically an Insta buy. Anytime they come out with something new, not necessarily a new finish, like I've been wanting to get updated colors of the Pilot Custom 74 for quite some time. I'm just looking for the right price, basically. Because I want to get the stone blue, which is almost always sold out, or the forest or the Merlot color. But I just haven't because I keep buying other pens. So not necessarily Insta buy for new finishes, but certainly when they come out with new like pens, I really, really have to give them a try. I've had the Stargazer before, which I think it's called something else in North America, but I cannot remember because I bought that one direct from Japan. And I remember selling it, and I remember having a reason why, and I don't remember what that reason is now. Probably just because it was too small, which is funny considering where my collection's going these days. But anyways, Pilot. This is going on way too long. Pilot. For sure, it comes out with a new pen, Insta buy. I really want to get the Urushi, the custom Urushi too, but that pen is a mortgage payment, so yeah. Another fountain pen brand that is basically an Insta buy. Hello, my beauties. These pens probably give me the most joy out of any pen that I have. And I think that's because it's so flashy. Yes, they write phenomenally well, don't get me wrong. But they're just so flashy. Like all of my Pilots are stunning. They're some of the best writing fountain pens I have. Like my Lamy 2000, one of the best writing pens I have. These I would say are in the top 3, but I wouldn't say like they're number 1. They're pretty close. But they just give me so much joy when I look at them. So I have 4 Euphorias right now. I have 2 of their hand-painted ones, which is Fall and their Koi Fish one, which I can't remember right now what they called it. Then I have their Pomegranate version and their Bourbon. Then I have a Briolette, which is in this amber color. I have one Taliesin, which is in their Edelweiss color. And I didn't even realize that I had this one in my hand because this was supposed to be over here. It was my 5th Euphoria, which was the Earl Grey. As I was saying before and pointing them out, I'm like, I don't think this is right, but my brain couldn't do all of the things at all of the times because ADD. I had way more Talisons. I had the Dream Bean, I had the Venus Hair, and I had a blue one, which I can't remember what it was called. But I have sold them only because I have so many Benus and I'm buying more. Because I keep picking up the Euphorias, which are my favorite model for now, because I have purchased 2 Benu fountain pens, which are going to be arriving eventually. But one of them is a pre-order. So one of them being the Pixie, I haven't obviously gotten, and it hasn't shipped because it's a pre-order. It's not ready yet. So I'm super stoked for that. But Benu are Insta buys for sure. Anytime they come out with a new like actual pen itself, I'm going to buy. Like not necessarily like right away, but as soon as I have the funds, you know what I mean? I have responsibilities. But for the most part, I'm gonna buy them because they're not crazy expensive. They're like any fountain pens are expensive. It is an expense. It is a frivolous hobby expense. But sometimes you just have to do it. And Benu does that for me. You all know the story. I sat on Benu for so long. I thought it was ridiculous. Finally, a couple years ago, I purchased the bourbon finish for my birthday because I buy myself something from the fountain pen hobby every year for my birthday. When I receive those, I will do a video of it because my birthday just passed. So I bought this from Pen Chalet, and then obviously within 2 years, I believe it's been 2 years, it has exploded, and like I said, I've had many more. So obviously my Benu problem, which is not really a problem, is just love. It's just love. So we've got Pilot, we have Benu, and then we have a wee brand. Just a wee one. Just a baby. And I'm going to compare it to the Benu Pixie when it arrives because I have to. But that, of course, is the CCO Sports with an asterisk on it. Why are these Insta buys? Well, firstly, I don't necessarily get sucked into the different colors of the sports that come out multiple times a year anymore because I used to. I think at one point, I think in total, I've had probably 30 CCO Sports. I do still have, I believe, 4 CCO Sports listed for sale. The All Sport did sell the other day. But if CCO ever comes out with a new fountain pen in this format, I am absolutely going to try it. They came out with the piston version, which I had to order twice. The first one, something happened in like inventory purposes and the order got canceled. So I was like, okay, no worries. I ordered from a different company and the exact same thing happened. And I was like, what? So I was like, okay, I'm going to give it a while. And then the reviews started coming in. And as anything with CCO, they are a mixed bag at best. So I figured I've waited this long. I'm going to wait a little bit longer and see if I can get the version 2 that will inevitably come out. Because I bought the CCO Art Sport instead of the piston one, which I'm pretty happy about because this pen is gorgeous. I love the style. I love the quick, like it, because it doesn't hold very much ink, because the actual converters themselves are pretty darn small. I love that. I adore it because that means I can change out my ink colors pretty frequently, which I need to do. If I've had a pen inked up with the same ink for more than a week, it's either because it's a pain in the tuchus pen to clean out, or some miracle, I just adore it. Because for the most part, I change them that quickly. Like if I've got it inked up for more than a week, I get really bored. I forgot this pen had a fude nib for a second, and I almost panicked when I saw it. And so I kind of almost don't even want the piston anymore, just because like the whole point of why I love these are because they're easy to clean and stuff like that. But I'll still get it. Don't get me wrong. Even though my beloved Frosted Sport definitely has seen some staining, but I'm all right with it. Diamond Polar Glow, if you're wondering. So if they come out with a new model, maybe a version 2 of the piston, or any kind of upgrades to the original form of the CCO Sport, because I'm not a huge fan of like the All Sport or like the brass copper ones. The brass and copper, I don't like that really in any fountain pen, period, because I find no matter how long you've had it, it still makes your hands smell bad, and I just don't like it. And the All Sport I liked, but like I just didn't see the price justification to get aluminum over these, in my humble opinion. But if they come out with new like art versions, things like that, oh yeah, they're going to be instant buys for sure. They start doing more specialty nibs for sure. This one is with Galen leather. I don't think they have any of these carmine red colors remaining, but it is absolutely stunning. So I don't think I can even hold all of these. Nope, not without bunching them all up. I was gonna try and hold all 17 without bunching any of them up and like hold them out like a deck of cards. It ain't happening. It just isn't. All I know is this is a bit ridiculous, but Insta buys, man, I'm telling you. You cannot go wrong with a Pilot pen, a Benu pen, or a CCO Sport. Especially, I would say the Benus and Pilots. These are the ones where I feel like you can really know you're going to get a good writer right out of the box. The CCOs, I will fully admit, have been hit or miss. I've gotten to know them so incredibly well that I'm pretty good at fixing all the issues myself now. But you don't really have that with the Pilot or the Benu fountain pens. But I want to know, so that I can add more pens to my collection, what are your Insta buy fountain pens in the comment section down below? I'm super, super curious. If you want to check out the Patreon sale, there's a link to my Patreon account down in the description below. If you want to help support the channel, but you don't want to do it on a monthly basis, you can also check out the super thanks that is above the description but below the video. For a one-time support of this channel. But regardless, if you've watched it this far in, you are the reason I make these videos, and I will see you on Friday. Bye!